Well, cleanup and rebuilding continues every single day in Southwest Virginia following the August flooding event. Caused massive destruction that is still months later being assessed. It will be a very long road, and it will take communities and people coming together to make it happen. This morning, we are joined by United Way of Southwest Virginia CEO Travis Staton with more on the fundraising and the rebuilding efforts that continue in Hurley, Virginia. And it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you and I were just talking about how quickly that flooding came and was gone, but the devastation, you said it's going to take several years.
Yeah, it will take some time. Typically, a lot of folks don't tend to realize that when we establish what's called a long-term recovery group, in the early days of a disaster, there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of people willing to help, but after that kind of situation starts to fade away and people get busy in their lives, they forget often about these families, and can't really rebuild a home back or build a home from scratch in 1 month. So it takes time, it takes partnerships, and several community organizations collaborating and working together.
And of course, seeing the video that came into our newsroom immediately following, and then even when we were able to get inside and look even further, it was even worse than I think people thought it was.
Yes, it is a very challenging situation. Sometimes there may even be a home that is still standing, but what you can't see from the outside is where the water came into the home, where the water destroyed the floor, the walls, the complete devastation, even though the outside of a home may look appearance still to be intact. Several homes were washed away. We are currently looking at more than probably about 40 homes that are going to be complete losses. And Travis, you were telling me that you're still in that process of going door to door and meeting these people and hearing these stories. Yes, so we have done a very good job of learning which families are going to need assistance. Part of our work now is really going in, and once they have been, let's say, mucked out in the mud and the water and everything's been removed from the home, the drywall has been removed so many feet up from the floor and the floors have been removed, they have to dry out. Then once they dry out, they have to be sprayed down for mold and then dried again, and then the rebuilding comes into play. When that happens, we're also working with knowledgeable construction assessors that can tell us how much sheetrock, how much installation, how many square feet, to really help bring that project back and bring those individuals and families to where they were the day before the storm. But another crucial piece of that, outside of financial dollars that we're investing in this project, we need volunteers. We have been able today to raise around $230,000. We really are anticipating, given our knowledge in disasters and different ones that we have managed directly, we're going to need about double that amount, and we're going to need a lot of volunteers to help us stretch that dollar. The more volunteers we have, the less we would have to pay for labor, and the more materials we can buy to help more people. And these are volunteers really across the board, rebuilding, HVAC people. I mean, these are lots of different skilled workers that can come in and help. Yes, we'll need volunteers that are definitely skilled in the trades, that can do electrician work, that can do plumbing, HVAC, and we still need some volunteers to help with cleanup. There will be a lot of things still to be done there, and even once a floor is put back in a home and you've got to put the belongings back in the home or new furniture back in the home, we need volunteers that can just help with hands-on physical labor type opportunities as well. And real quickly, because I asked you this earlier and I said United Way does so many different things. How are you able to take on this massive project with all the other things that you have? And I thought your analogy was perfect. Sure. Well, it's a journey, and we really are heavily invested in improving and making our communities a better place to live, work, and raise a family. But when a disaster happens, all of the normal work that we're doing can be hindered by that disaster. If someone doesn't have a home, they're not really concerned about their child's grade level reading proficiency at the time. They're more worried about, can they provide a safe environment for their child? So that need supersedes, and then we start concentrating on those things in order to make the rest work as well. Well, Travis, thank you for all that you are doing. We'll give everybody the information on how they can help. Financial assistance, volunteers needed to help out our Hurley communities. If you would like more information, you can go to donations at unitedwayswva.org, or you can call that number right there as well.